Good morning, and this is your crypto day morning. Today's date comes in that of Wednesday, the 27th of February, 2019. All bets, trades of the like, always within each's own risk and their own reward. Bitcoin, since its decline a little bit back ago, has maintained a sideways range and has upgraded its level of support from its original level, which this is a 4 hour. Let's adjust it to the single. Originally in the area of about 37 and a third, and then we had this low in at 37.48. But now we have multiple hit low at around 37.65, and it's grinding its way lower. But at the same point, since it's made this high on the 13-hour timestamp 2 days ago, has not been making any higher highs along the way. But the overall finding support at this level of previous resistance is in play, and it does have a long ways to go, even though it can happen instantly with these markets, of breaking this level of resistance. I say it's a long ways to go, other than it's just a decent distance below. That's, I think, a better way of pointing it. But like I've been stating within this market, I think you have to keep on expecting what the normal is when it's ready to have it a decent size, move up or down, and then go sideways in a form thereafter the fact, as that has been many of the situations. This down move in here has a little bit of the sideways with this volatile failed breakdown. This down move here, or the break leg lower from this high to this low, goes sideways. This high went sideways. This high grinded it way in an upward move. That was spectacular. And then having an up move, of course, to key Fibonacci. So far supporting a Pierce above this one in here. 18 average of highs on the daily term. That's coming in around 4,000, or 39 rather. So getting above the 39 handle clearly, 39.17, 39.20, especially if it's holding successfully as it is thus far within the 18. Give it a lot of credential, not only for a good game, but if you have a move where you come up to a big high, have a curve like this, find resistance where you're probably supposed to, and then correct, and then look like you're leaving that mode of correction. This doesn't come to. This is a more. It's now becoming probable to break it for a good leg higher. Let's transition on to Theta, and I talked a lot more about this coin and Vertcoin for a lot longer, so I'm just going to go for a brief little summary as it's managed to make a high of 3,700 and a quarter on the Satoshi level. I see it's up to this previous level of resistance from November the 30th. It's also at the Binance Open highs. After a long decline, the circle formation, you're expecting to find a level of resistance here. The one thing that I find is a little bit of a concern for that is where is the volume. I explained that in the previous video. So for those who watched that or just want a quick 1 minute update of what it looked like last night. And this is going back to about 9 o'clock p.m. And what I was saying is I was having a hard time trusting this short-term rally because I wanted to see big volume come in on one of these spikes going higher, which didn't happen. But I realized so any time it can come in. I mean, I could say this might be not a good time to go long short term when who knows, maybe big volume comes in breaking above 35.25. So just because the volume wasn't there didn't mean that it wasn't going to come. Or in that case, it's not even needed because, as I'm stating, before a nice move comes in, sometimes as it's in the early stages, you'll see significant volume on the short term. Nothing was the case, but that did happen momentarily, as we can see here. Oops, decent volume here, and the market had already declined from this. Thus, like I was thinking, I didn't think this rally was going to succeed. And then from this stage forward, after this move, and I was thinking, I wonder if this is just going to spark it to go higher. And before I was going to bed, it sure as heck was doing such, as it did manage to now break up towards this high and then make a move here to 36 and a half, continue forward, getting past 37. And of course, that has been the top. It's still having a battle amongst that key area. And as I'm mentioning yesterday, it's either going to find a level of resistance here or things can go really crazy if that's the case. It's just finding resistance is a big favorite. Let's move on to Komodo. And amongst its daily term, let's see, how do I explain this? I've explained this before, so you pretty much have an idea of what I'm going to say. After coming up from this level of resistance, what it's been doing here with the 18. It got out above it on the 24th. The last 2 days doing this, and now it looks like it's leaving it. Like I said with the theta, or excuse me, with the, I guess, well, when you have a move high like this, corrects the support like this, and go up, I'm expecting it to break that level of resistance. And on the weekly chart, we got the 18 for the first time since the decline starting to go up. That to me, this looks like a pattern that is just ready to soar. And I hope it does, of course, because this is one of the coins that I'm holding. Now, interestingly, was the daily term. I woke up and I noticed that I sold. I checked Bittrex and I seen I sold some. Okay, so be it. Let's. I gotta think I'm selling on Binance. I say to myself, and it's pretty much a bit different of a chart. And well, yeah, I did sell, but I also bought it near this bottom as well. Why people do this, I do not know. But somebody here just decided it was a good idea to do this. Sell it all the way down to a low of 22.31. I bought a little over 22 and a half. So I woke up and I see my order page and I seen sell, which would have been like before this happened at the high, now or but whatever before, near 28 we'll say, maybe 28 change. I think it was 28 change. And then this happens here. This is why it sucked that I got up. I wish I would have got up to be a little bit later, because I think I noticed it here at 7:30, and that's when I got up and I'm like, yeah, I might as well sell some, and rather than get a little bit of a better deal. You know what? That's all fine and dandy. But I did put a sell order in for 29.95, and it goes up to 29.39 here. But yeah, it went up to 29.39. Bittrex on the 1 minute. Well, I guess this would be the same time that Binance went down, but this one went down a reasonable amount. And then the 29 move, if you're able to catch it, you could have sold on Binance for around 29 and bought back here around 27. 7% or so, 5% of our arbitrage. I didn't catch it. I did an arbitrage a few days ago, and I think I literally ended up making like two coins for like 80% off the price. I was like nothing. I got two plus net coins after transferring Komodo, which is like no cost in transferring that for the most part. But I had plus two coins and than I had before, and then I had something like with the transferring like 34,000 Satoshi less Bitcoin. So it meant like I got like a coin for like coins for like it might even be less than that, like 20,000 Satoshi. We're dead to like 4 or 5,000 Satoshi coins. I got two for after the transfers and everything. I'm like, yeah, was that even really worth it? But when they're available, they can be very, very profitable. And let's move on to the next coin, which will be a no limit coin numero deuce. And I'll start off with it as 1 minute. I mean, if you want to get in stuff like this, I'm thinking about this right now. I just clicked on it now and I'm looking at the 1 minute and I'm like, wow, really? You might have to fluctuate with some of the other people in the buy and ask orders and having to play with automated machines. But we have a high of 275 and a low of 261, a differential of 14 basis points. This is the 1 minute time frame. Now, I was going to say not every minute is calculated in here. So don't think this is every minute. This is 8:03, which is 44 minutes ago, as I'm doing it. 8:02, 8:01, 8 o'clock, 7:57, 56, 54, 53. At this point, it was doing good. So if you can catch it while it's going on and you're fast, then you could probably do pretty good. 7:50, 49, 31. So there's 18 minutes without a trade. 7:30, 7:01, half hour without a trade, so on and so forth. But when you see anything like this, you just want to me, you want to buy at the lower end and sell on the upper end. Let's take a look at this on the 4 hour. Because it went down yesterday and it's just been consolidating in there for the most part. And on the daily chart, it's falling off from its 18 average of lows, as we can see in here, breaking down below this level of support. And what I like about my strategy that I use, and I got in the more information box, is a first few parts, which explains the buy low, sell high, unit sizing, and a whole bunch of other different intricacies. And I don't care if it goes down or if it goes up next. I really, really don't. Maybe I can have a preference, but even when I have a preference, that doesn't mean it's going to do that. And even if I think something's going to go down or up, maybe it doesn't, or I'm forced to adjust to the message of the market and something else is different. And within this, I just put orders in and just let it ride or let it wait, and let it go on either side. Now, I did a video series just yesterday, I finished it off yesterday, about NLC2 and trading it short term. Because what I did is I took on the hourly chart here, I got data that goes back to the start on here. So therefore, I was able to see how it would work out if you were to if you were just bamboozle a whole bunch of trades. That I put up a simple mathematical number system, and it worked out that there would have been over 2,000 trades in over one half of a year. And what I did, and there's a video on it, the completion of it, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but I do want to show a chart that I made that wasn't in that video. And amongst this, we have an orange and a blue line. The orange line represents the NSC price movement since it was about 900 and a half when this first opened up on Bittrex. The blue line represents how the portfolio would look after when the price is at that point. So it goes up and down with the market as it should because it is that market. But when you are making trades in the level that I talk about, it improves things really well. This case in point, some things. For example, from this low in here, when it was down almost 90%, it comes up to this high, so it rallies here as well. This comeback is noticeably above this low, where this comeback is noticeably below this high, meaning it doesn't retrace as much. And then when you look at from this low to this low, how the up and down movements play itself out, well, as we can see in here, it is designed as the buy and sell, just putting orders in and that type of mechanism to overperform the market. I find it remarkable how we can take something that looks like this over 7 months that is down 70% and you can actually turn it into a winner. That, again, a remarkable situation because it's designed where, like, if a market goes up and you trade something that goes up, you're going to profit. You may not, but you also may profit more than the actual base underlying market. Also, if the market goes sideways, you're going to overperform the market, and if it goes down, you should overperform it, and you might profit. And there's a spot where you did. Now, in this is where you would start with half of your investment, so you really can't too much in the fact that, oh, this was much above here. No, because this was designed to put 100%. This is what the market is down. This is where you hold overall that of like a little bit of Bitcoin. So it's if this thing were just skyrocket higher, this would go so much higher because of the fact that maybe you'd start off with like say 200,000 coins here and 100,000 with the blue one as that type of an example. But as you can see how it's actually above and it makes better long-term movements. Again, this video series in the more information box. I'd like to thank you those who have watched it, those who will, and those who have contributed within this channel. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.